All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rain World. I never know what to say for these intros. I think I should just start. So, hello. Um, I'm interested in Pebbles percent. Short overview of this category. Play a survivor. You go up to Pebbles, and then you go down to the depths, and that's it. It was one of the original categories before the release of Downpour, which means that it is a very optimized category. People have been actually running this for a long time. Unlike the, whoops, don't do that. Unlike the Downpour categories where, they've only been done recently, just because Downpour has been released recently. Even a lot of those runs haven't been optimized, just because no one's interested in them, and there's a lot of new categories. But back in the older version, or the original version of Rain World, this was like one of the only categories, so you might as well. So I do have mods enabled. This is not a real run yet. Normally there's karma caching in the next bit, but I have karma requirements turned off just to kind of get rid of it, so it's a bit annoying. So yeah, this whole segment I didn't do great. That's definitely something I can improve. So normally you karma cache up to karma 4. That's enough to get you past the wall gate. But we're just gonna be going anyway. So this next room has a skip that's pretty significant, but I have not been able to do it yet. If there's a rock somewhere, I could try to show what it looks like. You do something like this. You like wall pounce off of this corner, but it's very difficult. Or maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. Something like that, but it gives you even more height than that, enough to climb up to that platform. Obviously, that's a pretty big skip. You don't have to come all the way over this way. You can go around, but I can't do it. Maybe there's some sort of secret to it that I just don't know, and if I did know, then it would be easy. But usually, I like doing all the wall pounces, but that one I can't figure out. And for this wall pounce, I actually don't know if it's a good option. I guess I could time it, right? So when it hits 10. Okay, never mind. Because if you accidentally go the wrong way, that actually might lose time. Because doing this is still pretty fast. Just climbing up it normally. I don't know. I could do a lot of testing to find like the perfect optimal strategy. But overall, those are only going to save like a few seconds. So I don't know if it's worth doing. But I guess, in this kind of category, maybe a few seconds actually makes a big difference. There's a spear here. You don't need a spear here, but it makes it easier and maybe a little bit faster. So I'm very excited about this category. Well, okay, there's two sides to it. The first side is I'm not playing Gourmand. So that's good. That's a good thing. I'm a fan of that. And I like the movement in this category. I do enjoy survivor movement. I mean, it's why I'm here in the first place. Without survivor movement, nobody would be running random speedruns anyway. Let's do that better. So can I do a slide pounce here? I can. But I just can't go too far. One karmas? What? feel like you might be able to do an AI hop up to this ledge. But I'm not being able to actually make it all the way up. It would be nice to skip that jump. Oops. So this run has like really fun movement. And you know that's part of why the speedrun is nice. It's just like a lot of movement that's been quite optimized, so there's a lot of different techniques that you use. So I think for this category, I'm definitely going to spend more time practicing than actually doing attempt. Although for attempts, you know, that's another thing. I want to be very confident with the movement in this run. I'm not gourmand, so I can't roll like that. But something that you're not seeing in this run is any creatures. I have creatures disabled for the sake of practice. So I can just focus on movement and not worry about RNG. Of course, for real runs, I will need to add creatures back in. So that's how the game is. But that makes the run very difficult. Creatures are a big part of why it's something that makes this run very difficult, because unlike some of the downpour runs, you aren't overpowered. Survivor actually doesn't have as many crazy abilities. You can do stuff like that. It's pretty cool, but you know, Arctis has double jump, Rivulet just as fast in general. Saint has a tongue. Saint or Spearmaster and Gourmand are a little bit less fortunate. A Spearmaster especially is like not a very strong character against a very difficult campaign, so that speedrun is also difficult. But Survivor is a case where a very weak character goes against pretty normal creatures, but so it ends up still being difficult. All throughout Industrial Complex, Chimney Canopy, and the Wall, you're constantly going to be dealing with lizards. White lizards, blue lizards are going to be a big problem. If a vulture shows up in this room, it might be a big problem, unless you're carrying a spear. That might be able to help you. A lot of rocks here, that's pretty lucky. Whoops. So getting consistent at like extended slides, extended instant hops, those are really important for this run. Compared to some other characters, the mobility is very useful. It's not like I have some sort of other movements to rely on, like these slides and stuff are like the main way Survivor can move around quickly. And especially for leaving these gates, you can do that. Be fast. Probably should have done the spear. I think in general it's better to use spears for throw boosts because you can't hold 2 spears, but you can hold 2 rocks. So if you throw a rock, if you're holding a rock and a spear and you throw the rock, then sorry, I had to kind of shit for a bit. If you're holding a rock and a spear, and you throw the spear, or you throw the rock, then you're holding a spear. And if you come across another spear, well, you can't pick it up, you know. But if you throw the spear, then you can pick up that spear, and then you have 2 items to throw. Gourmand is gone. I'm very glad Gourmand is gone. I can actually move. I can do like slides, slide pounces, yeah, hops, fast pole climbing, all that I can actually do throughout the whole run. It's pretty crazy. I can throw spears. I'm a fan of not being gourmand. There's a sort of appeal to gourmand speedruns that is definitely unique, but or something that I want to like run a lot. It's not really good for that. Depending on how these runs go, I might want to run them a lot to try to like really optimize the time. We'll see how that goes. You know, this run is very RNG, very like difficult. Like this next room, like most of these rooms in the wall aren't really that bad. The next room is, and a few rooms after that are really rough with the white lizards. Survivor doesn't really have that many great tools to deal with them. You want to do that roll earlier than I did there? There's a lot of like rocks and spears here, which would be nice for dealing with the lizards. So if I don't do that properly, oops, you can do a wall pounce there, which actually can save it. So I've also done some testing on the wall. Going up the left side here is faster. Whoops, that's way slower. Don't do that. There's this little trick you can do when you're like at the very bottom of a vertical pole. You can kind of pull yourself up very quickly if you time it right. This is another place where the run can end. If there's a white lizard in these tunnels, you are just dead. Sorry. Oops. That's an accident on the wall pounce. Okay, I want to practice this. I think if you do the jump as late as possible, unless it's maybe like this, you can kind of like roll pounce into. Actually, I think maybe a slide pounce from like here. That kind of roll, or that kind of flows pretty well. From this room, you don't really have the time to set it up, but I think doing a roll pounce works pretty well there if you get the spacing correct. Remember to have a spear for this part, unless you can do curl turn vaults. Gosh. Something that's really messing me up here is not knowing which side of the pole I'll be on. So when you're doing fast pole climbing, you alternate between left, right, you know, each side of the pole. But if you don't know which side you're on, you don't know which side to start on when you do the fast pole climb. Okay, I want to do a slide pounce there, but I feel like it doesn't really work out. Like if you do a slide pounce from the very start of the room, you can. You almost need to slow yourself down to get that to work. This room is really awkward, or these few screens right here. Jumping over these. Oops. By the way, this is exactly why I don't like Gourmand. All this movement that I'm doing right now, Gourmand can't do. You can only do it like once or twice before you run out of stamina. I can basically just do it constantly as Survivor across the entire room. Not even, like, Survivor's not even the special one here. It's just Gourmand is the not good one. I'm not even playing Gourmand and I'm supposed to be complaining about them. I'm just glad I'm playing another character, really. Even if it's just Survivor. So this is basically what I'll be doing, just going through the run. Make sure that I know the movement. This part here can be really annoying if you mess it up. Oh, shoot, exactly like that, actually. Just like, why don't you go in, you know? There we go. I thought I had a consistent strategy for that, but every time you think it's consistent, you mess it up in a unique way, so it never really gets consistent. Oops, I accidentally threw some of those forward, so I just kept going faster. Hello, Pebbles. So I think, like what I did for Rivulets, one of the strategies that I used for practicing that speedrun was to create a list of rooms that had particularly difficult movement, so I could just go through and practice those rooms only, you know? Obviously, it's important to practice the entire run, but, you know, I'm gonna give more attention to the rooms that are, like, extra difficult, and where I'm more likely to mess up. So I can make a list of rooms like that for Survivor 2. It's probably a good idea for, like, most categories. And I don't know the good movement for this room. It's like, you can't really do a slide on that top platform because of the, like, the bumps in it, the dents. Just a lot of like rolls and slide or roll bounces that you can just do here. That's really annoying when you bump into the fruit up there. It actually slows you down enough to land in the water instead of landing on the platform. So look at the top of the screen. You can see there's two timers. One is at 17 minutes and another is at 3 minutes. Try to guess which one is the wrong one and which one is also the one that is used in vanilla gameplay. So I'm using a mod to add the timer above it, the one that, or the old timer is the one that would normally be, that you normally see without the mod. But the mod adds a new timer, one that's on top. And it fixes problems like what is happening right here, where the default timer is like really delayed for some reason. I guess it's because I talked to Pebbles, so it kind of it's as if that didn't happen because I exited out of the game, so that cycle was kind of forgotten. So drainage is an interesting region because it's actually like probably some of the easier movements in the run. Oops. Okay, well maybe that's difficult. It's not difficult, I just messed it up. But this entire area right here for the next few minutes, it's just going to be swimming underwater. So there's not much room for optimization. You know, you can do these pipe boosts underwater. You can jump out of the water at the right time, but you know, it doesn't really help that much. And there's only a handful of inputs that you do anyway. So this part of the run is pretty relaxed. There's not many creatures that can, well, that's actually no creatures at all that can kill you. And if you're good at the water movements, you don't really need to be worried about losing the run here. It does take a little while to get used to the movement underwater. I definitely have lost some runs here, but you know, it's something that you can improve and just get consistent at, and then you never mess up here again. This room is probably some of the more difficult swimming at the bottom of this room, but a handful of good pipe boosts can make it a lot easier. Make sure to boost out of that pipe, it helps a lot. Then I slide down here. Okay, if you time a slide bounce correctly, you can do that in one jump. But I realized that I messed up the spacing, so I had to land on the bottom platform to be safe. Oops. Just the bottom of that screen, you want to hug the wall to avoid fall damage. And here we are on filtration. So filtration is the last difficult part of the in terms of creatures, just because there's a bunch of mole lizards. There's something really unfortunate about this. There is two routes. Well, actually, filtration is such a huge maze. There's like 100 different ways you can go, right? But there's two main routes that I use personally. One route is the fastest route, and another route is the safe route. The fastest route is very dangerous because you often end up running right into a bunch of mole lizards. They like to cross through that route, so I'll take that route now for this run. But know that it's like kind of unrealistic to do this consistently in a run, and you might just lose it. You might just lose the run just because there's mole lizards in the wrong spot. So you go over here. You can't really see too well, but there's some pipes that you just learn the positions of. Then you go down here. And this tunnel right here that I'm climbing through, there's usually up like 1 or 2 mole lizards in this tunnel. And if they aren't in the tunnel, then they will hear that you are there, and they will go through that tunnel as kind of like their main way to get to you. So it's very dangerous. I don't really have a solution to that. I don't know if anyone who runs this category, I don't know what they do, or if they just like go that route and just hope there's nothing in the way. I hope that's part of oh. Okay, I've summoned them. Hello, welcome to the stream. Yes, I'm talking about the mole lizards. Just go and get lucky. You can hear where they are. So like, it looks at the nearest mole. That's interesting. So if you notice like it's looking down there, you know that there's probably a mole that you should watch out for. But I don't really know what the alternate solution would be. Like, if you know a mole is down there, I feel like you'd have to wait for so long that it wouldn't really... I don't know. I'm trying to go for kind of a perfect run. That's always my goal for these categories, for these speedruns. So even if you know a mole is down there, then like you have to just reset anyway, because I feel like you'd spend way too long waiting for it to move out of the way. I know that there's like a few alternate routes you can take, right? But like, it's slow to take the main route and then go to a slower route afterwards, when you could have just gone to the slower but safer route from the beginning. Like a rock right now. There we go. You're probably going to be disappointed by my depth movement, because it is definitely what I've practiced the least. I kind of considered potentially making this stream exclusively practicing depth, where I would just go through the depths over and over and over again for like 3 hours. I always go for the instant slide pounces because they're really funny. But it really hurts to mess them up. You just kind of like stop in place for a second. So I don't think you could do a slide there. Right, like that right there. Okay. These timings I really need to just spend a lot of time on. The next room much easier. Oh yeah, because doesn't time change between rooms? So it gets slightly slower and slower as you go. That's like... So like, oh, these are the timings that you do in the beginning of depth, and then these are the timings that you do at the end of depths. My old strategy was basically just to spam like throw boosts, which is probably still a good idea. Like, it's not like I'm gonna use them for AI hops. Those are crazy difficult down here. And there's not much flat ground to use them, but like right there, that's probably a good spot to throw boost, right? I really like if there was a mod that removed all the visual effects from this area and made the terrain much clearer, just so that you could like actually see what you're doing for practice. Obviously it wouldn't be allowed for real runs, but just knowing where you're going could help a lot. And then once you practice movement in an area where you can see, you can then like go and do real runs and be much more confident with your movement. Dev tool should be able to delete the effect. Might look into that. This is much more effective if you throw boosts alongside the pounce. I don't really want to open up splits for these practice runs, so I'm not really going to have a good idea of how fast the run actually is. I assume that beat the world record by 12 minutes. If with like a bunch of mods enabled. Definitely legit run. Oops. What was I literally just talking about? Oh yeah, I think that real time is always going to be slower than in-game time. For like a handful of times where you like are in menus or like, you know, when you exit out of the game. So the in-game timer is not really a good reference for how fast a run actually is, considering how they're actually timed. Okay, messing this up. I noticed that it's usually not good to carry a rock into this room because you want to be able to grab the fruit immediately. So it's funny to go into the shelter and realize that it's a smaller one. I got so used to the big shelter in Downpour. I have a question. Still here. But I know that you can do something crazy in this room. Okay, there's actually no rocks for some reason. rocks up here. So right in this spot, you can do something, get up to this, to the platform, right? There's a wall bounce here. I have yet to even do it once. Like, is this something that's actually viable in runs that you can get consistently? Because it seems very precise. Sometimes I've been able to get up to like this spot right here, but never high enough to actually like climb up. You'd go for it. Jump storage? I'd never even tried jump storage. So like this before. Okay, if I can even start the wall pounce in the first place. That's the one that I usually get. That's more horizontal. I was a little too late. Oh, okay. There you go. That's one of them. So I think I have done it correctly a few times just without the jump boost. Because I didn't even know to do that. Why rush to Pebbles? Because he okay. I think I will have to practice this. So now that I know that you just have to jump boost. But even then, like, I still wasn't very consistent. Okay, well, maybe not. Save a few seconds. I think the more annoying part is that this is right after you karma cache. So you spend a few minutes karma caching, you mess this jump up twice in a row, and you'd restart anyway. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Now that I know that, though, maybe it is worth practicing it. What's the world record or PB? Personal best is like 27. There's the different leaderboard for downpour and no downpour. So yeah, I have a 27.47, which is third place. World record is 25.32. And for downpour, actually I think there's just recently a better downpour run. The one that's on the leaderboards now is a 26:30. So I would need to improve my own time by a little over 2 minutes, which sounds kind of crazy. But you know, it's been a while since I ran this category, so practicing any character other than Rivulet and Gourmand, you know, has also been kind of practice for Survivor. They all have similar movement. Okay, what is up with this? By the way, that other run, just checking. Yeah, so basically the best 1.5 Pebble percent run. That was actually the run that got me into speedrunning in the first place. Because it has a crazy amount of AI hops, and I was like, okay, well, I want to do one there. Extended instant hops, they let you go very far, very fast. As I proceed to fail all the ones that I try to do. I thought it was such a cool movement tech that I wanted to try to learn them myself. And if I was going to learn a movement tech like that, I might as well also try to do the speedrun. When runs go well, it makes the game look fun. What do you mean? Rain World is always fun. It's a great game to speedrun. Yeah, these what this run right now, and the one that I did before, what these practice runs aren't showing is the 100 times that you would die to white lizards and blue lizards and vultures. Especially Spearmaster. I'm planning on running Spearmaster after this, so lot of fun things to look forward to. I don't think this jump is possible. I did it as Gourmand because he has a longer roll, so you can make the roll from here. Actually, I guess you can do it as Survivor 2. I did it too early. That's actually, it's why I like these runs, these practice runs so much, where I disable creatures. Because then you do get to just do the fun speedrun with no RNG. Okay, I'm not doing the thing that you're supposed to do here, which is to wait a little bit. I'm curious if you know about this movement. You need a rock for it. Okay, let's fall down again, why not? Because for this next room, there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but the one that I actually like, that I found most recently, is that right there. It's probably faster than what you can do with the spear. And of course, since it requires a rock, it's easier to have a rock ready for that room. Instead of having to need a spear. Like, you can carry 2 rocks and use a rock earlier and then have one for that. It is a little bit more difficult. Well, actually a lot bit more difficult, but it's probably the fastest option, so it's what I'm going to do. I mean, you can also do it with the spears, so you might as well go for it both times. Yeah, I guess you would, you know, get a spear at some point and just carry it until you get to that point. That was a mistake, I think. And also makes that part up at the top of the wall, or not the top of the wall, but close to the top of the wall, a lot easier. You don't need 2 spears for a skip. Now, for the wall, I did a lot of testing here recently. What I did is I just, I opened up OBS and I just like started recording. And I just did these rooms like over and over again. And then I overlaid multiple runs of the same room to figure out which one's fastest. Because I always see people do different routes with this room, and the route that I use is always different than the one that's used in speedruns. And, you know, I never knew which one was actually the best option. And my tests are probably still inaccurate to some degree. Like another player with different movement would probably do some things better. And maybe an alternate route for them would be faster overall. So I think what I'm doing is like pretty close to optimal, or if it's not optimal, it's like the safest option because there's a drop hook that can be annoying. Let's redo that. This is where the run usually ends, the lizards. And whenever I say like the run ends, I mean, it depends on your, what kind of time you're going for, right? If you're more of a casual runner. Okay, there's something I do here that I want to try. So I think, yeah, you could just make this jump normally, but I guess if you don't make it, you can do that. But, you know, if you're a more casual runner, you're probably not going to go for the best possible time. You're just going to try to finish a run and try to finish the run faster than you did last time. Going to the left side here is the fastest option. So, you know, if lizards slow you down, you're not going to end the run because of that. You're going to keep going and try to deal with the lizards, you know. But, you know, if you're going for a really good time or a really big improvement, and, you know, if those lizards were a big time loss in your last run, then you don't want to make the same mistake again. So if you lose time to those lizards, then you might just want to restart anyway. Like, the run might not be over. Maybe there's some way you can get out of the scenario, but if the time loss is big enough, you're going to want to restart anyway. Oops. That was my approach to the Artificer run. There were a lot of scenarios where maybe I lost a bit of time, but I could have kept going, but I still restarted anyway. Especially in like garbage waste and industrial, you know. Man, that's annoying when that happens. Like if a dropwig steals your scavenger in industrial, you can like go to another place to find another scavenger, but that might take too much time, so you might as well just restart. At least that was my approach to it. There's something satisfying about survivor movement that is kind of taken away a bit by some of the downpour characters. Like, survivor compared to all the other characters, I guess, like, you know, survivor, monk, hunter, speedermaster, they have to put in the most work to get the most improvements, right? If you're playing rivulet, you just need to do like slide pounces and you're moving as fast as possible, right? Maybe an extended slide here and there, right? But like, it's always super easy to move really quickly as rivulet, and as artificer, you know, just do a double jump and you'll move very quickly. But survivor, you need to do everything, like slide pounces, roll pounces, yeah, hops, you know. I don't want to mess this up again. There we go. That seems to be consistent for me. I don't know if it's the fastest option, but doing that consistently is much more important because you lose a ton of time by messing that up. That might have been a mistake to do that early. Hello, Pebbles. I was just here a while ago. But hello again. Wow, I saved like several minutes by just doing nothing. It's only been almost 2 minutes at this point. This part of the run is really easy. Like there might be some lizards and drainage that can mess you up, but you can pretty much get from here to filtration without any issues. Getting perfect RNG with no creatures spawning. Yeah, it's just my luck. I wonder if there was a run where you saw absolutely no creatures at all, could you prove that it was cheated? Like, are there some rooms where there's guaranteed to be a creature? Because, you know, most creatures can kind of wander around. So they can leave the room where you would encounter them normally. I mean, some creatures like the pink and green lizard in the beginning of Outskirts, those are probably so consistent that there's a very, very low chance of not seeing them. Dream luck. New tech? That's probably slower though. Ah yes, I wanted to pick up a batfly there. You might jump right into the salamander there. Usually you're moving fast enough where they're not a problem, where they're not able to catch you, unless they're like literally right in your way and you bump into them and have to slow down. But that's pretty unlikely. I don't know a good way to do this room without falling into the leech pool. Usually there's leeches in the middle. They will kill you if you fall down there. Unless you can escape really quickly. Hello. Welcome to the stream. What do you mean, what the heck? This is get to Pebbles as fast as possible. Pebble percent run is the regular Ascension ending, so getting to the Void Sea, but without skipping the Guardians at the end. So you need to go to Pebbles. Well, you could technically get Echoes to increase your Karma, but it's called Pebbles percent because he's the fastest way to get max Karma. Whoops. I think you start the side pounds from like there. That's better. You go up to Pebbles, you get max Karma, then you go down to the depths to ascend. That's Pebble percent. As opposed to any percent where you can just go straight to the depths and do something to skip the Guardians without needing enough Karma. I like this category compared to any percent just because it's longer and you spend more time in areas that are actually fun to move through. Any percent kind of goes straight down into drainage and filtration, and then especially the depths. Like a big chunk of the run is just depths, which is probably my least favorite part of the run. So if you're doing a bunch of any percent runs, you're gonna spend a lot of time in the depths, and I don't really like that. So Pebbles percent actually gets to explore like industrial and chimney and the wall. Those are fun regions to move through, even though they're not really fun regions to deal with lizards in. Guardians freak you out. So yeah, this is the fast route you can take through filtration, but you're probably going to run straight into a mole lizard right here at the end of the run, which is very fun. Bad fight down here. Now, okay, so for depth, I'm not very good at this area. I've been here a lot of times, but I've never practiced it, like specific routes through it. I don't really know if there is a best way to do depths, or if it's just like do whatever you can. The review that plush. I saw that video. Very good. Very good video. You never want to be down here, by the way. It's really hard to climb back up like that. Okay, hold up. I need to actually like figure this out. Up here, what is the best thing to do? I think that, just doing that. Whoa. Why are you doing like that? Why do you do this? There's like a specific way you can do this room that's quite quick by like rolling on the top of these platforms, but I can't figure it out. And rolls seem to be inconsistent. Like you might roll up the platform, you might not. Okay, don't do that. That's a bad idea. I don't know if ascension counts. It's counted as a death. What do you mean? Like gameplay or like lore wise? If you don't know, the depths is slower than the rest of the game. Like time literally runs slower. And thus the timing of all of your movement tech is also different. So if you spend a lot of your time practicing like an AI hop, for example, there are specific timings that you need to be very familiar with. And when the time is slower, you need to relearn those timings for the depths. And also, time keeps getting slower as you go further down. So you need to keep adjusting your timings just a little bit as you go. So if you get used to timing a specific movement in one room, a few rooms later, that movement is, or that the way you do it is not going to work. Oops, don't do backflip. You can do an extended slide right here. But, like, for whatever reason, starting slides in the depths is very difficult. Like, way more difficult than normal. I don't know why. Are we talking about Saint? Okay. Yeah, that wasn't even a good place to do it. Oh. Okay, I still don't understand what you're asking. If you're playing Saint and you ascend a creature, it does not count as a death. But if you hit them with a rock before you ascend them, then it does count as a kill for like score run sakes. So you get points for killing creatures if you hit them with a rock and then you ascend them. But just ascension on its own does not count. Kill someone as Gourmand. You can very easily kill Guardians as Gourmand. Like kind of their specialty. And Inv, I guess. Ow. I tried to roll there. It didn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work sometimes. So you basically what you're asking is if you kill a creature and then you go to the Void Sea to ascend, did the creatures that you kill in that cycle count as actual kills? I don't like in. It's like awkward to actually say out loud. Actually, I usually say pain cat. I actually want to try something here. Uh-oh. Did I break the game? Okay, I know what happened here. Hey guys, you know the camera scroll mod? Oh no, I totally broke it. Is it back to normal? Okay, it's back to normal. I want to try. I don't know, dev mode controls. I think there's something you can do here. There you go. You can see so much better. Does this apply to all the rooms? No, so I'd have to, but if I go back to this day. So this room doesn't have it. Well, there's a problem here though. My movement is normal, right? Also, the sound effects are still playing. Why are they still playing? Can I go back into this room and, like, undo it? So I'm down here. If I go back up normally, would fix it. it's still kind of just loud. So what's happening here is, I think this effect right here, the void melts, this also slows down the game. So I can move around normally, but if I increase this all the way, now I move around a lot slower, if you can even see me still. So that doesn't really work, because I also want to practice like the slower movement. But I guess actually, can this apply to like anywhere in the game? Void melt? I don't even know how I'd activate this outside of I guess somewhere in here. Okay, well, I can't actually find it. Alright, let's just do another run. Welcome back. I did see your message in the chat at the start of the stream. Survivor dev tools %. So I guess this would be a good room to test it if I can do this. I assume that it would be somewhere here, right? Okay, this slows down time, but it doesn't add any extra visual effects. Does that have to be like underground, maybe? No, doesn't do anything. Wow, okay, just close all that. Maple syrup outskirts. We'll never know what it looks like. Actually, I think there is a mod on the workshop that just has every room look like the depths. And it's awful. So I'm gonna try this tech. See if I can actually do it this time. I think I could be able to do it with a spear too. That's a no. There we go. Okay, I'll have to spend a lot of time practicing that before I do real attempts. Over 3Q rock until iterator things is a void scene. Yeah, that's the reality where that plan actually worked out. Everything is the Void Sea now. And technically, if Moon is correct about the world slowly getting dissolved by the Void Sea, then eventually the outskirts would be there, right? Although it's probably like, probably would be like falling apart to a point where you couldn't even recognize it as outskirts. This is really annoying. Like, there's not really much space to do with slide pounce here, so you might get a wall pounce if you hit the wall too soon. Ooh, okay. I guess you can't do that. It doesn't do anything. How to disable the creatures? I have a mod called Keep That Away From Me. It lets you disable whichever creatures you want. So I just have all the hostile creatures disabled. Some of them still are enabled, like Cicada or... I mean, basically anything that can be practical, like a grapple worm. You sometimes use a grapple worm in a speedrun, so I didn't want to disable those. I really recommend it for speedruns. It means I can actually do the run without dying to lizards constantly. Although I will be a little bit underprepared for when I do actual real runs and I have to deal with creatures. Though, you know, when I start doing real attempts, they technically won't be actual real attempts because I'll still be getting used to the creatures, you know. It'll take a while to get to the point where I can deal with them as efficiently as possible. Yeah, I think the game journalist. That one works like totally fine in most cases, but sometimes there's like weird cases where it doesn't remove creatures in a specific region. That's pretty much the only case where it did work strange in a strange way. Some creatures didn't work affected at all, like jetfish for some reason. That was bad timing there. Save states would be amazing. You'll just like set a save state at the start of like some room, and then just be able to practice that segment over and over again with the exact same conditions every time. I don't even know if that kind of tool could exist for Rain World. I'm not really entirely sure how it works though, so maybe it'd be really easy and just no one's gotten around to it. I think you can do this just like that, yeah. You don't even need to like walk backwards for a bit. Oh, that's nice. It's definitely worth doing a throw boost there. But Hollow Knight, I'm pretty sure like the rooms don't really change, right? Every time you enter a room, it should be exactly the same every time. You know, the enemies are all like spawned in the same location and they have the same movement patterns, right? But for Rain World, you know, they can wander and be in any position at any time, and also different rooms are loaded in different ways, you know. You pretty much have to save the state of the entire region to get an idea of where creatures are to keep that consistent. Why are there no creatures? This is the practice run. I'm using a mod to remove creatures because they are annoying. I want to practice movement specifically, not RNG. I assume that Hollow Knight would only have one room loaded at a time, right? So a save state would really just be like just one room and like player data stuff too, like how much health you have or soul. And like the position of all the enemies in that room. And the moment that you move to a different room, like it'd be exactly the same as any other situation. I do need a spear right about right now. Should have picked the one up that was down there. Ah, yeah, I need to get a spear. That's a new one. Also, I think it might be about to rain. Yeah. Well, not really important. It will no longer affect me at this room. Whoops. Okay, do a roll pounce there, not a slide pounce. Or if you do a slide pounce, start from the very beginning. This room, I need to get more consistent at. Maybe would a normal roll work better? That immediately failed. I don't know which one would be best. If you land in the wrong spot, it just doesn't work at all. I've heard, I think I've seen at least one time where someone was able to jump up to this next pole from here. Like that. I don't know how to do it. I guess it's not too much slower to do this. I need to find a spear. So you want to jump as late as possible from that platform, and then jump as late as possible from the roll. Oh, there's a spear. If I know how to do crawl turn vaults, I would not be worried about this. There's one. Just make sure to pick up a spear at some point. You can just hold on to it. Okay, man. This is a really hard culture involved. I think that was actually a decent wall pass to do. Just learn how to. I've tried like plenty of times, and I've yet to even do like a single one correctly. Fan art? What even would you make fan art of? This is my best attempt at a Carlton model. Yeah. It might be like dependent on your control scheme. Like some control schemes are just easier for your like position that your fingers are in, or like where your jump key is. You know. Time at the top. So the time at the top is from a mod that fixes the timer issues. The one at the bottom is the timer that you normally see in game with no mods. And you'll actually notice a big difference between the two of them in just a minute here. Probably jumps out the same thing as Sculpture and Pulse. Am I getting some of the names wrong? Okay, one thing at a time. So look at the timer right now. You can see now there's a very big difference. So without mods, because you exit out of the game there, timer kind of gets reset. So it looks like it's just been 2 minutes, right? Of course, it's not been 2 minutes. So that's what the mod fixes. So the timer at the top is the more accurate version. Hello, welcome to the stream. So okay, I might as well like just try to do something here. I think the next room will be good for that. Okay, so there's a thing you can do where you're crouching and you turn around and you do a jump like midway through. It's nice for getting just a little bit of extra height, right? This is really easy. Like this is like not difficult at all. You just turn around and then you jump. There's another thing that you kind of do where you like do turn storage. So you do a backflip, and this also gets you more height. And you can also do an up throw. So if I can do this correctly, there you go, something like that. That can give you a decent amount of height, especially if you throw 2 items at once. With better timing than that. But then there's the other thing where you like do jump storage and then you like do a bunch of different inputs and you like go crazy high. Like you could probably almost touch the ceiling in this room. And that move I have not yet even done once. I can do this though. Like this is actually like easier. At least for a little bit. Like that's like the 0.1 seconds of the bat fly sound. Okay, I'm curious, can you do something here? No, I guess not. You can. So do a charge pounce and stand up midway through, and you can do a roll pounce afterwards. That's probably a good option. Monk was Monk is the last one for a lot of people actually, or either that or they don't play Monk at all, which is understandable because it's basically the same as Survivor. I like Monk. I'm a fan of Monk. If you ever want to play the game but you don't want to be like too stressed out, just want to like relax for a bit, you know, Monk is very chill. If you want to like focus more on exploring the world rather than like trying to survive. Maybe like the survivor part is like really important for a lot of people, so like Monk kind of gets sort of like the best part of the game for them. But I don't mind it. It's nice that there's some variety. Really, I should be doing the Monk speedrun, the Monk Pebbles percent, because it's actually like way easier, less dangerous creatures. Monk was actually I think probably the first character that I played. Well, no, I played the game before Monk wasn't even a thing. I think I played the first version of the game. And then I like took a break because it's hard, and then I came back and Monk was a thing, so I played that and beat it. I did a lot of these wrong. I did a lot of these rooms wrong because I was focused on talking more than movement. Excuse me? Please don't do that. Oops. Okay, another time where I literally was not even looking at the screen. Only took 16 hours. Most sane Rain World player. Yo guys, stop talking so much. I can't read all of this. Sorry to hear you played Spear Master. That's how it is. I'm playing Spear Master next, by the way. I don't know when. Whoops. Okay, this is the wrong way, but whatever. Yeah, after Survivor, I'm planning to do Spear Master, so that'll be fun. It's also a significantly more difficult run that I've not even practiced that much, so yeah, very excited for that. There's always a rock right there. Is that consistent? I feel like there's always a rock that I could pick up, but I don't react too fast enough. Like speedrunning Speedmaster is a pain. I agree. Speedrunning does sound like a pain, but I don't even have a single Speedmaster run completed, so I would just like to have one at least. And if I'm gonna do it, then I might as well try to get a decent time. I think I'm aiming for sub-hour mainly, but the world record is like a 55 something, so much lower than a sub-hour. That's actually a category where I don't know if I'll be able to get a world record. Same with this one actually. Like the world record is very good at these categories. But I would have like to have at least like a good second place time, you know? Finally did that correctly. You don't want to land in there. You don't want to do that. B-Cat? I have played B-Cat. Quite a while ago. It's actually one of the first modded characters I played. They're pretty cool. Okay, I really don't know how to do this room very well. Yeah, Spearmaster and Artificer spawns are a little excessive, in my opinion. Like, I understand it's kind of meant to like balance out how strong the characters are, but there's a point where it kind of just makes the game not fun. Be overwhelmed by like red lizards and such. And also makes the ecosystem feel very unrealistic for how many like apex predators there are just hanging out in a very small area. I wouldn't say they're just hanging out. It's a little bit more chaotic than that. I think if I mess it up, I might as well just keep going instead of trying to go back and do it again. Oh, that was a mistake. Don't do that. Who is Nightcat? You know what? I have the same question. Why is Nightcat so important? They're just like a dark colored slugcat. You see them in the background of like Gourmand's ending, and that's it. But people are acting like they're like a new character. I guess, you know, back when it was only you know, Monk, Survivor, and Hunter, you know, Nightcat was the next option, you know, after all those. We didn't have the downpour characters to fill those roles. Oh, yeah, there is another person. Yeah, that person. But I mean, like that's another thing, right? They are using that username and profile picture. Well, actually, I don't remember what their profile picture is, but for Nightcat, who's like not even a character. The Wanderer. I guess they do kind of look like that. They have a little bit of a different design. Took fall damage there when I tried to avoid it specifically. I don't really know what I did differently though. Maybe it's like a specific area that I land on that's like a little bit lower. Yep, messed that up. Oh, okay. I understand the full context of this discussion. Yeah, the Spearmaster speedrun is interesting. Like you can't throw items for like half the run, but I think that's kind of an interesting opportunity to focus on movement because whoops, not one open there. You know, um, the faster you move, the harder it will be for creatures to catch you, right? So if you can get really good at the movement, especially with a grapple worm, you can try to avoid creatures just by outrunning them. There's kind of like an ideal version of the run where you're grappling through everything super quickly and you know where everything is and you barely run into any creatures at all. Or even if you do run into creatures, you can just swing past them. You know? Okay, we go again. Is this the fourth run so far? I actually want to do something a little bit, or I want to do this run a little bit different. I kind of want to keep track of a bunch of rooms that are particularly difficult. Don't do that. So I know which rooms to spend more practice on. There's two options for entering this room. You can either try to pipe boost and do like this, and then you basically climb the pole like normal, or don't pipe boost, jump, and then do a fast roll, which is probably faster because you gain some extra height on the pole. But it's hard to like not pipe boost because you want to pipe boost all the time basically. Like right here. See if I can do this correctly too. You don't need to throw the last sphere over there. Hello. Welcome to the stream. So I think the beginning of the run is pretty easy. Like most of the rooms that are difficult, I've already practiced enough for them to be like consistent. I think this room though, the one that is up here, I want to practice this more. The room is BO4. And now this song is playing. And the reason why is it's this jump, which I kind of need to get consistent at. It is very difficult. There we go. Ideally, I would do it with the first rock, and then I could use the second rock to do an extended slide. You know what? I want to test something here. Get out of here. Okay. Does this work? There we go. Just some splits. So I just want to test this room. Okay, already messed that up. Okay. 6.7 about. Which is actually 6 seconds. So it's faster by 0.7 seconds, but it is a lot more difficult. That's cool. Actually, there's another thing that I didn't account for. When you're entering this room, ow, you can do a pipe boost here, which can give you a head start on the pole climbing. So maybe you all at its time that's separately. So maybe it's probably not worth it to do the wall pounds. It's more difficult and it's more difficult and you can't do the pipe boost. Right when I'm talking about the pipe boost, yeah. Oh, that was almost it, right? That kind of looked like one. There's a lot of optimizations that you can do in these rooms if you have rocks and spears. So, like, you do something different every time depending on the items that you have. I think actually... Yeah, so if you jump off this pole and then do a slide when you land, that's exactly what makes you fall down the pit. Unless you do it super early. Or I guess you can do this too, which is probably faster, but you need a lot more rocks. I really don't like this tunnel because you usually die to a lizard inside of here. You know what? I'm going back. I think you can use a custom skin on Bedrock. I don't know how, but I think it's possible. There's like a little button somewhere in the main menu. Okay, does the song not want to play? I went back there to get the song to play and it didn't want to. Whoops, I did that very wrong. Hello? There we go. This room. Okay, actually, I went through all of industrial without doing the thing that I was gonna, that I specifically wanted to do. I'm just gonna go to random rooms until I find the right one. Oh, this is close enough. Most of these rooms are not really that difficult. Actually, can you do something in this room? No, I don't think you get enough height. Maybe if you do multiple jumps. You can do that. I don't think it's probably not faster because it takes a while to go back and forth. Man, I want to do like that jump off, but it doesn't really work. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. Jump sword corner pounce. That's are you referring to this thing? It's very I got very lucky that I did it right there, but I'm not very consistent at it yet. Yeah, I would like to do a lot of like those extended slides and stuff, but it's mostly about if you get enough rocks to do it. A little bit of RNG, because of course rocks and the spears spawn in randomly. The other type of corner pounce. What other kind of corner pounce? Like this kind? Where you slide into a corner? That doesn't work right there for some reason. So I don't think we jump boost this one. Okay, I can't do that. Throw boost. All the different variations. Oh, like this one? There's no good walls for it here. I don't know any of the terms. There's like 20 different types of wall pounces. So I don't know. Doing the normal route is probably the fastest way anyway. Okay, I'm bad at this now. Why not? Maybe you can oh, right. Wow, I made it to the side. That's crazy. Oh, is it about to rain? Yeah, no more rain. I said no more rain. I don't know why that's like difficult. Okay, why is this inconsistent? Like, I didn't get the roll there, the pounce there. I guess you really need to do just everything perfectly, unless maybe there's something else you can do here. Because that doesn't make it. Maybe I didn't wait long enough. So at that point, I'm almost falling off of the pole. And then for this one, I probably just want to climb up to the ledge. No need to go higher than that. There we go. Now this song is playing. Can you, I just thought of something here. Can you do this? Okay. I don't think you can hide from that. You just bonk your head into the wall. Yeah, I wonder why there's a spear on the wall there. That's strange. You just want to do those pole hops that they line up in a way that you can like jump onto the platform without running into it. I'm curious, can you die here? Yes, you can. I'm curious if you can just make this jump from the beginning. You can almost do that jump too. I don't know why I tried it again. I knew that I literally just learned that it doesn't work. Maybe something like this. Okay, that's not consistent. If you could get some extra speed from like climbing up. Or maybe, whoops. Okay, that actually worked out. Maybe you could do, actually, hold up, that worked very, very well. See how it is from the pipe boost, if you can do a pull hop there. Yes, you can. Okay, I like the pull hop there. I didn't land very well, but conceptually it works out. That's annoying. That's really a spot where you really don't want to get that variance with the AI hop. Wow, that gate opened really quickly. That's crazy. What did I just do there? It looked like I got another jump midair. I like saw that correctly. I think I what did I do? That works. Can I do that? I did like an extra jump somehow. normal coyote jump. Thought that the jump that I did just before would have removed the extra jump that I had. Practice for a speeder or something? That is exactly what this is. I am using a handful of mods that remove creatures. That's one of the big ones. Like, I also have dev tools on, so I can, like, you know, I can do this. But I remove creatures because they are annoying and I want to practice the movement. I don't know why I went this way. Do a roll, man. There you go. Whoops. Okay, I'm making a lot of mistakes now. That's cool. How do you do E slides? You do normal slide, right? And then partway through the slide, you throw backwards. So slide forward, hold backwards, and then throw. I threw away all my rocks. And AI hop is what you do when you jump right afterwards. That's what happens when you mess it up. There you go. I'm gonna throw away all the spears in this area. Any more rocks? There we go. There's one. So slide, throw backwards. You don't actually need to hold forwards. Like, I'm holding backwards this whole time, right? If you look at the input display in the bottom left. So you do a slide, press backwards, and throw, and that's it. Aren't AI hops frame perfect? They're close to frame perfect. The speed that you get is dependent on the timing of it. So there's like a fastest version of an AI hop that is frame perfect. But if you're like one frame slower, then you still get an AI hop, but it's just a little bit slower. There is, if I can do this correctly, this is actually frame perfect. I wish I had like infinite rocks right now. You know, let's just keep going. I'll find more rocks later. Maybe I shouldn't do that in a room where you can literally throw them into the abyss. The rock boost jump. I don't know what you're referring to by that. It's a throw boost where you can throw right after jump. So you jump a little bit further. That's a throw boost. You might have been referring to the different thing that you can do. Oops, I slept up those on. Like right here, you can throw a rock into a wall and get like a really big jump off of it. That's a wall pounce. We're just using a rock to do it like that. That's what I was. Okay, this is actually a better place to do movement stuff. So here's some E slides. If you do jump at the very end of an E slide, you can do a pounce out of it. Like that. If you jump immediately, this is an AI hop. I want to try to do the frame perfect one. As I do every other possible wrong way. No, I can't do this. There we go. Okay, that's the frame perfect one, where you like kind of do a pounce, which is actually not ideal because it gets you less distance. It's useful in a handful of scenarios. Whiplash skills. Anyway, keep going. Yeah, there's a lot of cool movement, but like a good chunk of it is not really practical. Okay, now I'm doing it when I don't want to. Turn storage flips, they're a lot of fun. Just like, if you want to spin as much as possible, that's how you do it. Or play Saints. That's another option. Okay, here's another place where you can do wall pounces. You can do turn storage AI hop. Like that. Where it's like a back foot. That's pretty cool, but you don't usually want to do it intentionally. Yeah, there's another slight variation where you press it down. And I guess it's technically faster, but I find that it makes it a lot more difficult. Because it's another key that you have to press and you have to time it in a specific way. So I guess that'd be like a more frame perfect version of it. If you technically want to be perfect. This movement tech gone too far. Yeah. It's been too far for a long time. But it's cool. It's pretty cool. Some people look at this kind of movement and say that it's completely pointless. Like, why do there need to be this much tech in this game? Like, most players aren't even going to use it. But I don't think that really works because most of the movement is like totally unintentional by the developers. It's just kind of a weird way of, it's just like weird consequences of the way that the movement system works. It's not like the developers actually programmed in like frame perfect tech, right? And expected any player to actually use it. Like, actually, there's some mushrooms nearby. I want to try to use them to do something funny. And by nearby, I mean I went the wrong way, so I need to take a detour to get them. Normal, yeah, normal. I think this might be a good place to do it. Right here. So I want to see if I can do this. Buffering. Stream crashed. It's good now. Is it? I just ate a mushroom, so it's still gonna look weird. There we go. If you saw what I just did there. You can do a whiplash instantly. It's literally frame perfect. But with a mushroom, it's easier because time is slowed down, so you have more time to do the input. Actually doing it at real time is like crazy difficult. There you go. You can also do the instant pounce. I actually use it in the depths because time is naturally slowed down there, so you know, you might as well do the pounce. Basically, when you do a slide, so when you start a slide, you need to wait a little bit before you can do a jump afterwards, which becomes a slide pounce. But you can also do a slide pounce on the very first frame that you start the slide. So technically, you can start a slide and then 1 frame later, press jump again, and it will do a pounce. But since you need to press jump to start the slide in the first place, you need to basically press jump within like 2 or 3 frames. I don't know which one it is. Because you might have to like press jump, release, and then press it again. I don't know if that's how it works. Oops. But I don't, it's like very, very difficult to press jump like so quickly. I forgot to do it, hold up. There we go. The funny thing is that this movement probably doesn't even save time because you're going to be waiting for the lizards anyway. Apparently, Geometry Dash YouTube shorts are not good. I've never gone there. So I can't confirm it, but I'm not gonna find out. I usually stay away from YouTube shorts or any like short content anyone like in general. Speaking of Geometry Dash, the update still hasn't come out yet, even though it's not October anymore, but it's probably going to come out sometime like the next week. There's like a decent chance of that. And maybe that's the same that's the same thing over again where it's not going to be next week, it's going to be like at the very end of the month, or it might even get delayed past that. But you know, we'll just have to see. But there's a decent chance it comes out in the near future, probably within this month. So I think I will play Geometry Dash on stream for that update. Just to check out a bunch of the new stuff. Oops. Remember to go up this way. I think it's faster, right? Just take this path. Because there's just like this long open space you can fall down instead of going through tunnels. Okay. I should probably learn like the alternate route for this if you fall down. Map, please. I can't see. Okay, actually I have to check the map. I don't know the tunnels. I would like to know like the best way to get through there in case you fall down. Subterranean. Oh, okay. Long tunnel. So from here you just fall all the way down. Go all the way to the left. And there we go. And just hope that there's no mole lizards here. Or else you are dead. Infiltration was fun. It's a very interesting area. That's like kind of how it is for a lot of the like late game areas in Rain World. I mean, I guess like only subterranean and the depths, right? The depths isn't really meant to be like fun, like there's like not much to do there, but it's kind of like just an experience, you know? I don't know what I just did. It's a fascinating place to explore on your first time through. But for any future playthroughs, it just kind of becomes annoying. Let's that up. That's cool. How many rocks? Can't pick any up. There we go. Maybe there's some way to fall down here without taking fall damage consistently, but I've not found that way. Trying to do the instant bounce. Sometimes I feel like fast rolls aren't actually that fast down here. Like in depth specifically, they aren't as good. And there's not much space to do the roll pounce afterwards. It's better in spaces like that. Oops. Okay, I'm just messing up everything here. Instant pounce looks so dumb. Just like a massive standing jump from nothing. Yeah, it is a little bit dumb. That's the kind of stuff that you get out of unintentional frame perfect tech in a physics-based movement system. Oops. I would love to see a task of this game that like makes like massive use of instant pounces and such. Like Wiggle Flight is like the big movement tech that's like task exclusive, right? Like, oh wow, Wiggle Flight, you can just fly it forever with like frame perfect inputs, right? But like instant pounces seem like a much more practical frame perfect tech. Okay, I can't do them at all now. Help. I don't know if you're supposed to just like press jump as fast as possible or if there's like actual timing to it. Like, I don't know if I'm pressing it too fast. Probably not. Ow. Yeah, there's like a single task run of this game. The only reason there's even task tools in the first place was to do like movement tech. Like just to figure out all the frame perfect movement stuff. That's like why they have a task. Actual doing speedruns is like not even considered. Recording mod. Right. I guess like a real task has more to it, right? You can like have save states so you can retry something a lot of different times. 15-minute run. It looks even weirder. Like from this screen, like 39 minutes, like that's the actual time, and then like 1 minute and 43 seconds is what the timer would have shown without this mod. I think this might be the end of the stream. Because I'm basically just doing this run over and over again. I mean, that's what practice looks like, right? I kind of, yeah, nice 1 minute run. Yeah, world record. That's crazy. I considered doing something that wasn't a speed run, but I don't have any great ideas for that. Like I've done like most of the interesting things that aren't just you know, different speedruns. Because there's like 1,000 different speedrun categories for this game. You can like literally just come up with anything. Expeditions. Should I do more expeditions? When my runs get verified, usually they take a few weeks. Like 3 weeks, I think is usually like the average time for a run to get verified. Slugcat randomizer. No. But like I don't usually Oh, hold up. Stream is being A little dumb. It should be fine now. I can never trust if OBS is actually telling me the truth. Because sometimes it seems that YouTube is lagging even if OBS doesn't say anything. For something like Slugcat Randomizer, I feel like I'd have to do it with something else, you know? Like if I just turn on Slugcat Randomizer, like what do I do then, you know? Like what would the goal be? Like that I kind of need to attach that mod with something else so that I have an actual like goal or something to work for. Stream is fine. OBS it dropped a few frames. I guess I could do a randomizer expedition. So the oh, it's doing it again. Thank you. I hope that's not noticeable in a bad way. So I could do an expedition where the character changes constantly. That could maybe be interesting. Slug pup expedition. I guess like maybe if a slug pup is counted in the randomizer. Well, it might be hard to notice any dropped frames just because there's nothing going on right now. Audio is probably fine. There we go. Is it back? So yeah, it is struggling. Dying to every creature runs. I mean, I already did that, right? I did that twice. Like there's not much like variety to like it's the same route that I'm gonna use, right? I felt like it was like pretty optimized, at least for how many attempts that I did. I like the idea of a Slugcat randomizer with like an expedition. I'm at combat and like movement constantly changes. Okay, I should probably end stream because OBS is not very happy right now. It's probably just gonna keep going in and out. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. And then, you know, after that, I will just keep doing Pebbles percent runs, doing actual attempts with creatures, you know. We'll see how those go. So, thanks for watching. See ya.